All right, Shalom. I'm going to start out by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah by Shem Kakodash, the abundance of the apostles and elders of great millstone. Shalom to all the Achaemenid that pushing the word of sincerity and in truth. Yeah, and I just have this lesson on how the elites plan this. You know, the Illuminati. The elites and their the spirit of speaking about the Illuminati and the Rothschilds families, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, the Vanderbilt families, so on and so forth. You know, that spirit has really died out within the masses of our people. Around 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, the early 2000s, a lot of people were speaking about the Illuminati. The Illuminati card game, the Bohemian Grove, the worldwide domination of these different elites, the Black Boule Society, all these different black artists, celebrities that's coupled in and joined to this elite uh, program. you know, um, that spirit was extremely hot at that time. That's what brought a lot of brothers into the truth. And people started to get very desensitized about hearing the Illuminati, Illuminati, and people got bored and they got tired. And a lot of people lost faith and they stopped really believing in that whole so-called conspiracy of the Illuminati, and they shook the dust on that notion. And it's only a few. It's only a few people that actually still held on and remained barking down that sentiment. And it's really to us, the apostles and elders, great millstone, but which I'll just said the Israelites, which mainly the apostles and elders. A lot of these Israelites don't even go into this, which part of the elites plans the mark of the beast, and they don't even speak on that. And a lot of truthers, Bible Belt, Edomites, so-called white people, that are hard fixed on their belief in Christianity or whatever faction of Christianity. But I wanted to do this lesson on how the elites plan this. Because a lot of people are still trying to figure out how did this virus originate and all this hell that's coming now and is soon to come. They just believe, all right, the government is doing and reacting a certain way because they see havoc. They see havoc and turmoil pushing through the streets, and they need to find out how to fix the problem. So they're quarantining the people, and they need the National Guard to distribute goods and services because the people are extremely sickly. And man, this plan of the elites is an ancient plan. These old ass crackers. Excuse my vulgar language, but it's just is truth. These old ass Edomites have been planning this for decades. If not, century plus. Possibly. This has been a very old plan. Even when Christopher Columbus came to here in 1492, he named it the New World. And of course, when he came and settled here, that wasn't the apex of the control of the elites. You had Adam Weishaupt, which he was the one that coined the Illuminati, the name the Illuminati. So I'm just saying he came so much years after the Christopher Columbus, and what as the Illuminati, what most people understand as the Illuminati started with him, Adam Weishaupt. But the plans of these elites, global domination, full control of the people, that takes a lot of time, man. It takes a lot of time. And this is the time. This is the time where they have full leverage, to push their plans, and it's been going on throughout the years. They've been pushing these plans. Even when you go into which a lot of people are familiar with the Simpsons and different television shows of sacrificial deaths and major events, worldwide climactic events. You'll see it on the Simpsons, and you'll be like, oh shit, the Simpsons predicted it. No, it was already planned. The Simpsons didn't predict the damn thing. That's whoever created The Simpsons, which I could type it in. It's nothing but a type away, but whatever. Um, they're lesser luminaries, all right, and they push their messages through broadcastings. They push their messages through the media. The media, when you look into it, it goes into the medium, which were witches. Further deeper, it goes into the Medes. Which were medium and Medes. Of course, goes into the basically spirits that work through the left-hand side, left-hand forces to push a particular plan, and these elites are following the plan of their father, which is the devil. Hey, and the left-hand side of the devil, which people as know as a devil, which is spiritually the spiritual demon Satan. Satan is pushing the plans of the Most High. Isaiah 45, and if I'm not mistaken, us the 7th chapter. It speaks about how I created good and evil. So the Lord gave Satan a plan and gave him instructions to push towards the left-hand side to all bring about the bigger plan, which is rulership from the Israelites. You have people that's trying to see, what's going to go on after the smoke clears, after this coronavirus and all this havoc comes, and they believe, these different nations will rule and arise, Russia, China, etc., etc. But truthfully speaking, the Israelites is going to rise, And I have this right here on the Illuminati card game, through the spirit of which brothers put in the group, brothers are familiar with. But I just want to shine a little bit of light. And you have the Illuminati card game. Look, coronavirus. So you have people that's watching is fully aware too. But like I said, the number is scarce. Then you have the Centers for Disease Control, which here in Georgia we had a CDC, and we know the CDC has a big plan. Not the little guys, but through the elites pushing it out through these different corporations. They plan to bankrupt their own economy, to sicken the people, and to create a one world totalitarian government. You see, you have the CDC, you have the so-called medical scientists on the front. Then you have the massive quarantine, which we're going into well, we're not going into, which we're in. It's present right now, and you have population reduction, which is going on right now, and will this be the end all be all? Lord willing, it will. We don't know exactly how this is going to go, but we know that this is still plans of the elites. And I did want to go to this and go back, but if brothers recall 2 years ago, you had the CDC director resign, and nobody really actually had a full understanding or a real reason why the individual resigned. I forget, was a male or female. But yeah, this individual resigned, and they didn't really push out a large message. And a lot of these individuals will resign from these offices, and we've seen a lot of individuals resigning now. There's a big list of all these different corporate giants resigning and leaving their post because they see something. They see hell, soon to breeze through. A lot of people are running to the certain islands. A lot of people are running to bunkers. A lot of people are, strapping down for the chaos to come. But it says Brendan Fitzgerald departure quickly followed the arrival of HHS Secretary Alex Azar. That's all I really wanted. But I just wanted to actually shed a little bit of light on that, which was a couple of years ago. You had a CDC director actually resign, and you see all these different directors resigning now. Because, like I said, there's a program and there's a protocol that's being pushed out through these different elites. You have certain people that catch wind on it, on these different corporations, and these different corporations, and they're not with it. They'll either whistleblow or they'll get the hell out of the company and try to flee with their family. Some will get killed. Some will flee. Some will actually escape and actually find some type of refuge where they could actually, find a little pocket where they could just chill out. And then you have also here, look at this, market manipulation. All these different things have been going on, and it's going on now. If brothers want to actually go through the whole list, all the Illuminati cards, for the card game, the terrorist attacks. We already seen 9/11, the Patriot Act, and all these different issuances of policy take place after death and havoc follows. Because what does it say in the book of Daniel? Through his craft, and Lord willing, matter of fact, I could get that. It says through his craft he shall make through his policy he shall make craft prosper in his hand. If I'm not mistaken, roughly paraphrasing Daniel 8:25, and I have it on my phone. I'll just read it. But it says, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand. Right, so the so-called white man has a policy through his political agenda to rule forever. And microchip, which you had Aaron Russo when he had the interview with Nick Rockefeller, he spoke about the mass microchipping, and we're starting to see these things going on now. What it tells you in the book in Habakkuk, at the end it shall speak. All right, and a lot of people didn't believe in Aaron Russo. A lot of people thought it was a conspiracy theory. This whole thing with conspiracy theorists. YouTube was starting to ban conspiracy theorists a couple months ago. But these conspiracies that people are speaking on, and we have been speaking on, are starting to become true. Conspiracy is in the scriptures. Conspiracy is a compound word. Con is with, spirit, spiracy goes into spirare, or spirit, which is the breath, to breathe together. Psalms the 83rd chapter. All right, Psalms the 2nd chapter. Those are conspiracies, as well as other conspiracies actually in the Bible. Lord willing, matter of fact, see if I find a couple of results on this. See, certain men actually made conspiracy together to actually kill other men all throughout the Bible. So to try to play on this term conspiracy and try to make it demonize it and make a hobgoblin out of the word like it's just something out of the norm, it's also part of the plans of the elites, to corrupt the minds through certain languages, and to oust out certain languages and certain words, that actually push a certain negative vibration on them. But I want to read this in Habakkuk, because this is also a conspiracy of the elitists. Habakkuk 1:6. For lo, I raise up the Chaldeans, and who raises up the Chaldeans, which were enemy nations of the Jews, the Israelites, the Heavenly Father. The word raise goes into, if I'm not mistaken, the Hebrew word quam. So the Lord raises up the righteous, and he will also raise up the wicked to be a pledge of death, or be an instrument of death unto nations. That bitter and hasty nation, America, when you look it up, it goes to the word Amerigo, which means bitter. And it says, hasty nation, which shall march through the breadth of the land. And today's date is March the 18th. When you go into March, let's see, it goes into the Hebrew word halak, which I think means go, or to go, to walk. And they're not just walking, all right. Marching, it goes into martial law, all right. Perfectly aligned cadences from the National Guard through your streets to bring havoc. They're not just marching in an array to perform, to look like the goddamn battle of the bands. They're going to be fully equipped, all right, guns to the teeth, shooting down anybody that will come near, and that's going to be that's going to come against the policies that's going to be laid out, because it's going to get extremely austere in America. All right, so it says, which shall march, which we're in the month of March. March goes into martial law, or Mars, the god of war. If I'm not mistaken, the Roman equivalent is Ares. So it says, through the breadth of the land to possess the dwelling places that are not theirs. So they're going to go into different places, and they're going to march through them, and they're going to take. All right, the thief cometh not, but to steal, kill, and destroy. All right. So continuing on, they are terrible and dreadful. Their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. All right, so they're not looked at as a supporting factor, because when the people see the government, they're like, oh, the government, they're coming to help us. We need help from the coronavirus. We need help from this disease outbreak. Please supply us with goods and services. People still believe that they're getting nourished from the face of the serpent. And what is this? It says that he spake like a lamb, but he had horns as a dragon. So even though he may come off innocent at a time, this white man is going to start showing his horns, and you're going to see how menacing and how devilish this devil truly is. So it says, their judgment and their dignity shall proceed of themselves. Their horses are also swifter than the leopards. And what is that going to? Their armies. How the hell are horses swifter than leopards? You know, that's going into how fast their automobiles is. You know, how swift that they can actually patrol these different streets. You know, because what they have aerial vision and they have ground troops. You know, they have full monetization. They can fully monitor without even being present. And it says are more fierce than the evening wolves. And the evening wolves, they hunt at evening. And if you see the persona or the energy of a wolf, they're ready to tear shit apart, man. You know, they have that real carnivorous, canine sticking out, drooling out the mouth. That's the so-called white man. He's been drooling out the mouth for decades, man. He's been wanting to rule and to take over. You know, scriptures speak about how he can't have enough. Who enlargeth his desire is hell. It says, and their horsemen shall spread themselves, and their horsemen shall come from far. They shall fly as the eagle that hasteth to eat. You know, you see these different eagles, when they're swooping down on prey, extremely hasty. It says, they shall come all for violence, their faces shall sup up as the east wind, and they shall gather the captivity as the sand. And what's the gathering the captivity? Concentration camps, internment camps, different camps where they quarantine you within, and it says they're going to gather you as the sand. They're going to start shutting down these. If it gets that bad, they're going to start shutting down these major corporations, these Walmarts, these supermarkets, and they're going to start putting hella people within them. And they're going to make it where it's mandatory where you can't leave. All right, it says they shall scoff at the kings, and the princes shall be at a scorn unto them. They shall deride every stronghold, for they shall heap dust and take it. And that's the times that we live in. So us brothers in the spirit of Yahweh Shema Shah, we have to stay praying. We have to stay, strong-minded in these times. Can't fall weak. Can't fall feeble. The Lord is with us. Believe that. So I want anybody giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shema Shah, Shem Kakwadash, double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone. Shalom, Maki.